All right, so my first layers have dried. You'll notice that I'm getting a little bit of some of these kind of weird wonky lines. I can fix that with later layers. But I wanted to show you what happens when you add the second layer to your first layer. So, one thing I'm taking mine, I'm going in and I'm adding a second layer here. Now I want to make sure that I keep that side there nice and dark. Let's see if this works. If you get outside your lines, you can always kind of paint and get rid of things kind of that way and clean things up. So I'm going to go in. I kind of like my sky the color it is, so I'm not going to add another layer to it. But what I am going to do is see if I can clean up some of this here. So I'm going to take a kind of clean brush and kind of wet that down a little bit and spread it so it's not as visible. So that's one of those tricks. So I can take a little bit more blue and put it right on top. And I can also add kind of layering to make my sky a little less flat. So I can add some blue to make that a little less black. I don't like that how light that is. So dabbing can kind of give you a little bit of a texture too. Now I do want, because I'm talking about that atmospheric perspective, I do want my water up front to be nice and bright. So I'm putting another heavy layer on top so that it gets nice and bright and that sky goes back in space. So make sure as you're thinking about these, you're adding more layers to things to make them darker. And you especially want to make the areas that are closer to you darker. So go in and add more layers to your drawings. Make sure you're keeping kind of your darker areas darker. And if you're having problems, like right now, that little section there does not want to stay, I'm just going to let it dry and try again when it's a little bit more dry. So go add more layers to your